I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Public Works Committee for Thursday, November 30th, 2017. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Abshire?
Here.
Mr. Andrepont?
Here.
Mr. Treme?
Here.
Mr. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Farnham?
Here.
Mr. Gidry?
Here. Thank you, Ms. Kathy.
Hillary?
Present.
Landry?
Here.
Mr. LaTour?
Here.
Mr. Hale?
Here.
Mr. McMillan was unable to attend this evening. Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mrs. Treme? Here. And Mr. White?
Here.
And Chairman Ferris.
I didn't
Here,
get my
thank you.
paper copy.
Shut her down.
Ms. Kathy, thank you for acknowledging me as
Hey, Jay.
president. Thank you so much, Ms. Kathy. That makes me feel so special.
I call him JP sometimes.
Item number 3, presentation of a certificate to Honorable Lillian Cottrell on being a recipient of the Jack V. Dolan Citizen of the Year Award at the 2017 Southwest Louisiana Women's Commission Conference. President Gidry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jessica Treme, could you please come forward? I had the opportunity to actually attend this year's Women Commission, and one of the young ladies that was actually honored was you, Judge. And what amazed me more than anything was the list of things that you do for our young kids in the community. And the thing that's more impressive than anything, you don't only deal with the kids themselves, but you deal with the families. And I think if you're going to fix a problem, you have to fix it as a whole. And that's what I want to commend you on. There are different organizations that, guys, you may not know that Judge doesn't just deal with organizations here in Calcasieu Parish. She deals with organizations statewide. And that speaks volumes for the job that you already have, that you feel that there's another obligation that you've got to do for our young women. And you deal with human trafficking, child abuse. That's a lot of personal issues, and it's a lot of touching issues for a lot of families. And I just want to say to you today, with all what's going on in the world here, you've stepped out on a really, really big stage, and you've done a tremendous job at what you've done. Guys, help me in giving Judge Lillian Cottrell a huge round of applause. Wes had told me, he said, Kevin, I'm so proud of my wife. You've got to give her something. I said, I already beat you to it, my friend. That is not true. He loved his wife. Make no mistake. Judge, this is something that we as a jury want to present to you. Certificate of recognition presented by the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury on this day, the 30th day of November, 2017, to Honorable Lillian Cottrell in honor and recognition of being the recipient of the Jack V. Dolan Citizen of the Year Award of the 2017 Southwest Louisiana Women's Commission. May the good Lord bless you and keep you in all that you do. Judge Cottrell, we are so proud of you. And if you'd like to say a few words.
That was sweet. Thank y'all. I appreciate Kevin arranging this and for y'all recognizing me. But I couldn't do it without everybody, especially y'all, because y'all are the ones who provide us the buildings and the spaces and the spaces where, especially extra spaces when we have a project we want to do. So thank y'all to everything y'all do for us as a court, and we'll keep working as long as we can do it.
We will continue
Thank
to
y'all.
support you, I promise you that.
All right,
I would
thanks.
like to take a picture with Wes also coming. Wes.
Yeah,
So I got to invite you up, Wes.
Every good.
I got to invite you to come up, Wes. Come on, buddy.
I'm the only one we get
Sandy.
together.
Sandy. Now you can say get the hug.
Thank you. I messed up the last time.
It's okay
It's
right
okay
this
to
time.
say it.
Only this.
I'm just unfiltered, that's all.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yes, appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Real quick, Judge, I remember I worked on your television commercials for your campaign, and it seems like I think it was only just a few years ago.
18.
18.
In better shape.
Who's counting? But it's a privilege to, to be here presenting you with that award. Still today, great career in progress. So again, congratulations. Okay, item number 4, appearance by Mr. Chris Sullivan, liaison to the U.S. Representative Clay Higgins. I don't
Present.
We don't see Mr. Sullivan.
Don't think he's present.
Item number 5, consideration of approving an active sale agreement for the Pine Meadow Subdivision Connection Project in Ward 1.
Move on 5.
Second. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Oh, excuse me. Got a motion by Mr. Collins, second by Mr. Guidry. Any discussion? Any second? Motion carries. Item number 6, consideration of
Move on
approving an
6.
active sale agreement for the Coach Williams Drive Extension Project in Ward 4. Got a motion by Mr. Scott and a second by Mr. Abshire. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
I seconded it.
Yeah.
Item number 7, consideration of approving an active donation agreement for the John Stein Road and Houston River Road improvements in Ward 4. Got a motion by Ms. Treme, second by Mr. Latour. Any discussion? Any objections? Motion carries. Item number 8, consideration of accepting Nelson Road and Ham Reed Road roundabout project in Calcasieu Parish as substantially
Move on 8.
complete.
Second. Hey, that ain't your round.
A motion by Mr. Brame and a second by everybody else. Mr. Scott.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Sorry about that, Mr. Scott.
Mr. Brame.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tim, can you give us an update on the timeline on the lighting? I know we're waiting on that.
There's 2 different lightings.
Okay,
For the project. One would be for the inner roundabout. I assume that's the one you're referring to.
It is.
And expect in the next 2 or 3 weeks that should be installed.
Okay.
We've worked out the financial part of that, and so the 10 to 15 days after that, they should be out there installing, so.
Okay.
2
All
or 3
right.
weeks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Landry.
When you gonna put the flag on the flagpole?
We have to get the lighting in first, so we'll have probably a little small ceremony or something to that effect after we get the lighting up.
What kind of flag you gonna put up there?
Only one.
Well, I mean, gonna be multiple flags or only?
No, it'll be a single.
The United
flag,
States
United
flag?
States flag.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Landry. So any objections? Motion carries. Item number 9, consideration of accepting Houston River Road Bridge Replacement Project in Calcasieu Parish as substantially complete. Got a motion by Mr. Andrepont and a second by Mr. Guillory. Any discussion? Any objections? Motion carries. Item number 10, consideration of accepting Blue Woods Phase 1 Block 1 subdivision. Motion by Mr. Latour, second by Ms. Mayo. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Item number 11, advise that the Christmas at the courthouse event will be held on Friday, December 8th from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. with the lighting ceremony to take place at 5:30 p.m. Item number 12, any other matters for consideration?
Move to adjourn.
Excuse me. Mr. Guillory.
I just want to say, I want to thank you all again for the Christmas at the courthouse. This was something that James Mill started, and just thank you all for continuing it. This was his big thing that he really loved. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Guillory.
That's always good.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Call to order the Agenda Committee meeting for Thursday, November 30th, 2017. The purpose of today's committee meeting is to formulate an agenda for the regular meeting of the police jury on December 7th, 2017. Need a motion and a second to pull item 17.
Move.
Second.
Item 17, take appropriate action on the terms of the following members of various boards and districts. Item A, Ms. Betty Cooper Brown, Calcasieu Parish Planning and Zoning Board.
Move to appoint Janelle Hyatt.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Treme to appoint Ms. Janelle Hyatt, second by Mr. Landry.
Can I just say one thing before we vote?
Go for it.
Betty Brown served wonderfully on this board for all of these years. She's an angel, isn't she? She's an angel. She has some health problems, so she is not going to be able to continue to serve. She's doing better, but and Janelle drove her to every meeting for the whole time that Betty served on the Planning and Zoning Board, because Betty doesn't like to drive like me. So Janelle drove her to every meeting, every Christmas party that they had. Anything that was done, drove her to go see, whether it was in Ward 1 or wherever, Janelle drove her to go see what was being done.
Ask a question.
And Janelle's really excited about being able to serve. So thank you for letting me have my little moment here, because they're worth it. So,
Thank you for that. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, that motion will carry. Item B, Mr. Paul Hudgens, Southwest Louisiana Convention and Visitors Bureau.
move on, is it, how you pronounce this? Kevin? Which one is from the aisle, from the Nugget?
Mr. Del Pratt.
Mr. Delpre. Move to appoint Mr. Jerry Delpre.
Second.
So we have three names here. Are we picking one of these three names, or we're submitting? We're picking the name. So, which one did you pick?
Mr. Jerry Delpre.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Ms. Treme, second by Mr. Landry to appoint Mr. Jerry Delpret. Any discussion on this item? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. C, Mr. Michael Dees, Southwest Louisiana Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Move to appoint Mr. Dees.
He's term limited.
Term limit.
Move to defer.
I saw
Defer
that.
for 30 days.
We have a motion by
saw that.
Mr. Landry to defer for 30 days.
Yes,
Oh,
second.
We have a second by Mr. Brain.
yeah.
Any discussion on this item? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item D, Mr. Mark LeBlanc, Burton Coliseum Advisory Board.
Move to defer. You gotta.
Second.
How long?
Well, I know that.
Move to
30
defer.
I saw that.
Move to defer 30 days.
Move to defer for 30 days by Mr. White, second by Mr. Latour. Any discussion on this item? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Any other
Move to
items?
adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. We're done.
One.